Hey guys, my name is Joshua Otto. I am a real estate agent here in Southwest Florida, and today I'm going to be going over my monthly market report here in Naples. We're going to be going over the median sales price, median days on market, how many sales we've had, months of supply, and we're going to be looking at kind of a live look and what has happened the last 7 days. We're going to be going over September, August, and we're going to go back a year into 2024. All right, so let's start with the median sales price. We had $550,000 as our median sales price in September. We had $586,000 as our median sales price in August. And then last year was also at $586,000. So as you can see, it went down a little bit, not a whole lot. In the last few years, since 2022, actually, it has gone from $550,000 to $650,000, and it has just kind of done that roller coaster ever since. So this doesn't really surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes up next month. May even go down a little bit. It's really hard to say, but either way, not really concerning to me. So now we're going to go to days on market. So our median days on market in September was 86. Up a little bit from August at 83, and up, that's 17 days from last year at 69 days on market. So it's taking you about 3 months. 3 months to get your home under contract. So just figure, right now, it's going to take a little bit to get your home under contract. No longer are the days where your house is going to go under contract within a week. 86 days is the median right now for your home to go under contract. Number of sales. So September, we had 605 sales in September. August, 614 sales. And 544 sales last year. So it's actually doing better than last year. That's good. That's a good sign. It's a good sign for things to come in the near future. It's down a little bit from last month, but as the summer months progress, it does tend to go down. But the fact that it went up from last year, that's a great sign. So if you're a seller, I'd be paying attention to that. It's a good sign for you. Months of supply. So September was at 7.5 months of supply. August, 7.9 months of supply. And 2024, 6.9. All right, so if you don't know what months of supply means, it just simply means that if no more homes hit the market today, based on the number of sales that we have and how many homes are on the market, that's how long it would take you to run out of homes. So people would call it like an absorption rate. How fast are things being absorbed? So 7.5 months, down from last month, up a little bit from last year. I don't know if you've watched my videos in the past, but a few months ago, just in season, actually, like in March, we were at almost a 12-month supply. Now we're at 7.5 months supply, which is still a buyer's market. Anything above 6 months is considered to be a buyer's market. Anything below 6 months is considered to be a seller's market. But it's not as strong of a buyer's market as it was just a few months ago. A lot of sellers started taking their home off of the market due to multiple reasons. Main reason being that they just weren't selling their home. They were disappointed in the market, so they took it off. A lot of sellers are putting it back on now that season's coming up, as we'll see in the last 7 days what has happened. So we had 302 new listings hit the market in the last 7 days. We had 205 go under contract. We had 158 sold. We had 103 either terminate their listing or they just went expired. And then we had 280 homes decrease their price. So new listings, I want you to focus in on that. It's a pretty big number. The beginning of October, I did a little video about what had happened in the first week of August. We had almost 400 new listings hit the market the first week of August. And it's been around that 300 number ever since that first week. I think as season approaches, we're going to start to see this number increase. I remember last year we were at almost like 500 in 1 week. We had like 475, I think it was. Though, that is definitely going to increase this number, but you also got to factor in how many are going under contract. So we have 205 that went under contract. That's 205 that are no longer available. And then you have terminated and expired, 103. So that together is 308. That leaves a deficit of 6. That's not helping this number go up at all. It's only going to make it go down. Though most of these terminated expired, I'd say at least half are going to end up putting it back on the market, either with a new agent or relist it with their current agent. But even that being said, it's hard to say, what is going to happen in the next few months. I think that we're going to start to see this new listing number ramp up even higher, which means this number will go up in the season. So if you are a seller right now, one thing you need to be thinking about, especially when you're looking at these price decreases, there's 280 listings that decrease their price. There's 302 new listings, right? So that tells me this: sellers, people out there, they want to sell. They're willing to decrease their price to sell. So if you're a seller in this market right now, you need to be thinking to yourself, what do I got to do to get this sold? And if you're looking at who is selling currently, you're probably already behind, because you got to beat them out. You have to beat them out. That's the only way you're going to get your home sold, because right now buyers, what they're focusing on is where their best value is. They're not just looking in your neighborhood. They're looking in every neighborhood. They're looking everywhere. I have buyers that are looking in Naples, Estero, Fort Myers, and they're trying to find the best bang for their buck, right? They're trying to find the best value that they can spend on a home. So you got to look at the overall scope of this, and you got to look at everything. You got to look at the big picture, right, when it comes to the pricing of your home and which homes are actually selling that are like your home, not just in your neighborhood. So, if you've been on the market, you're not getting showings, you're not getting offers, you're not getting your home sold, it is time to think pretty seriously about your pricing and trying to, you just gotta wrap your mind around the fact that you may not get the price that you want, right? And if you're not willing to bring it down to get it sold, then you might want to think about being one of these guys and just terminating it, just taking it off the market, or you're going to end up one of these guys where you expire. Especially like if your agent's already got professional photos taken, they've got a great description of the property, they're highlighting all the key features of your home, and they got it up on every website, Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, all the websites. They got it on the MLS. There's not much else they can do. The public has already seen it. Right now, what the market is telling you is that your home is priced too high. So you're going to have to think about decreasing your price. And that's what sellers are starting to do. Now, if you're a buyer, great news for you. You're going to have a lot more inventory here in the next few months. I'm pretty sure we're going to see this number ramp up even higher, as I said before. Right now might be a great time for you. Interest rates seem like they might soften down a little bit, which means it could be more affordable, but you got to pay in mind that if interest rates do go down to a certain point, that's going to cause more buyers to be able to afford to buy in the market right now. So if you can't afford to buy right now and you've been on the fence about it, you're not sure what to do, now might be the time to think about it before we see this ramp up even more, to where now the home you want is in multiple offers. Because I know the ones that are selling are the ones that are already in a good location. They're in good shape. It's a good house, right? Everything about it checks the boxes. It's going to be to the point where, even if it doesn't check all the boxes, it's still probably going to sell anyway. All it takes is for more homes to become affordable, for interest rates to go down to where more buyers are now entering the market. So if you are a buyer and you've been on the fence, now's probably the time to think about, when's a good time for me to enter? Is now a good time to enter? What does this scope look like for me? And if you're wondering, how you can figure that out, just give me a call. I can talk to you about the market. I can talk to you about what the projections are and all of that, and I can kind of gear it towards your wants and needs and your timeline to best suit, your life and just everything that you have going on. Sellers, if you're a little worried about this and you want to know, how to get your home sold in today's market, give me a call. I would love to talk to you, strategize with you on how to get your home sold if you're thinking about getting it on the market. So that's it, guys. My name is Joshua Otto. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care.